patrons and supporters and community partners here today. And we're just so glad you're here to share this wonderful announcement that we're going to make shortly. But again, I also want to take this opportunity to thank our board of directors. They are committed leaders who have really stepped up through this very important process, again, that you're going to learn a little bit more about. But I want to thank you all for your leadership and getting us to this really good place. With that, I'm going to introduce our board chairman, Regan White-Clem. Regan, would you like to come up and say a few words? One note, though, before we get started, there will be opportunity for media interviews after the conclusion of the conference. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This indeed is an exciting day for the Savannah City. There are many people to thank who helped to make this day possible, including our dedicated board and our very hardworking staff. I'd also like to thank the City of Savannah and Mayor Eddie Deloach. Thank you for being here, and all of the city officials that work so hard. Thank you to the Cultural Affairs Commissioner, Chamber of Commerce, Visit Savannah, and thanks also to CETA and to the Tourism Leadership Council. And for this wonderful venue, thank you for our partners at Perry Lane. All of you have demonstrated in word and deed your sincere belief that the Savannah values a sitting orchestra in this city and the important things that it brings to our community. Indeed, the Savannah Philharmonic is an important cornerstone to the cultural fabric of this city, and it is my great pleasure to make this announcement today. We have ended our search for our music director, and I'm thrilled to announce that Maestro Keitaro Harada will be our next music director and executive artistic director for the Savannah Philharmonic. Our search committee, headed by Scott Loretti, has done a fantastic job from beginning to end. And Scott, I'd like to introduce now. He's going to come up and speak to us about the process. Scott Loretti, our vice chair and head of our search committee.
Thank you. And I echo Regan's thanks to all the constituent groups that have assembled here and have made this possible and who support the work that we do. And thanks to all of you. And thanks to my committee members. I see a bunch in the audience. We started this process in, I guess, December officially as a committee. And today it's 7-8 months later, and here we are. It's a happy coincidence that in one of my other lives, I write for a magazine that I own, and today was deadline day. So I was just writing this essay before I came over here. Gave me the opportunity to write about this particular issue. So I don't have notes because I just wrote it all in my head about 2 hours ago. So I'm gonna probably regurgitate some of the stuff that some of you may read later. But the thing that stuck in my head when I wrote what I wrote was that sometimes you get what you deserve in life. And I think a city as amazing as this one, with as much potential as this one has, I think in the case of Harada, we got what we deserve, which is an exceptional leader for a very important cultural institution as we grow together to build something that we can all really be very, very proud of. I think that this orchestra, this organization, is more than just a performance vehicle. It's an opportunity to build community. It's an opportunity to reach across all kinds of different barriers in a city like this, and through music and through education and through learning, build a stronger community. And I think Kay is the perfect guy to shepherd us artistically to do that. A little bit about the process, as Regan mentioned, she wanted me to talk about that. We have taken 8 months to get to the place where we are today, but we were prepared to take as long as it needed to be. But it didn't need to be any longer than it is now, because Kay came to perform actually in the first concert where we were having guest conductors that we were entertaining for this position, and blew everybody away, from the audience to the supporters of the organization that have historically been by our side, to the people responsible for making this decision, he just checked all the boxes. He has exceptional musicianship and his provenance in that. If you look at the resume and where he's trained, with whom he's trained, his educational experience, unparalleled. But also he has a world of experience. Literally, he performs all over the world. So he brings to us an outside perspective that I think can help us refresh some of the work that we do. But beyond that, like I said, I think that this is about building community. And so you need somebody who can really inspire and who can rally a lot of different constituent groups and pull in the same direction to build a stronger city from a foundation of strong arts. And I think Kay has the skills to do that. You'll find him bright, you'll find him engaging, you'll find him charming, but I'll let you find that out for yourself, because I'm going to ask him to come up next, and I think, and talk to everybody. So please welcome our next music and artistic director, Keitaro Harada.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time this afternoon on such short notice. First and foremost, I want to thank a couple people, Scott, Regan, Terry, EJ, who's in the back, the members of the search committee, and the members of the staff of the Savannah Philharmonic for all the countless hours of dedication, faith, effort, which led to this moment. Exactly 144 days ago, on March 1st, I was conducting in Taiwan and received a call to see if I would be interested in stepping in at the Savannah Philharmonic for the April 6th concert. I had a conflict on April 6th, and I rarely cancel a prior engagement for a new opportunity, but two things made me really want to do the concert. First was Marcus Roberts, and second was the state of Georgia. I asked my colleague in Cincinnati to step in for me, and I positively responded back to Savannah Philharmonic. The concert in April was a beautiful collaboration between the Savannah Philharmonic and then the Savannah Music Festival. Marcus Roberts is an artist that I have always looked up to. I've played jazz all my life, so Marcus is truly a living legend. And to do Rhapsody in Blue with him on stage was an opportunity that I simply could not say no to. Reason number two. The state of Georgia has a soft spot in my heart. It's a place where you would often hear me say, it's my home away from home. After graduating high school in Michigan from Interlochen Arts Academy, I met Adrian Gadam, the former music director of the Macon Symphony Orchestra, who invited me to study with him at Mercer University and to be the assistant conductor at Macon Symphony Orchestra. I'm sure many of you here have attended orchestra concerts, but have you ever thought about how conductors practice or get better at conducting? This was one of the biggest question marks that I had when I became and decided to become a conductor. Take a violinist or pianist, for example, or any instrumentalist. The musician spends countless hours perfecting their craft in the practice room. And similar to an Olympic event, a general public can usually or sort of tell if a musician makes a mistake during a performance. But how about conductors? This is a big mystery. We wave a stick. Sometimes I even forget my stick in this suitcase and I have to wave with my arm. But the point is, we don't make any sound. When people first catch the bug of becoming a conductor, just like myself, and the aspiration of becoming a world-famous maestro, they have the tendency to do one thing: stand in front of the mirror and try waving their arm to see if it looks good. Truth be told, we can stare at the mirror all day and wave our arms like no one's business and make sure we perfect the art of hairspray so that our hair doesn't get messed up when we get too excited on the stage. But that doesn't make us better conductors. So when I moved to Macon, I knew exactly what to do in order to become a better conductor. I needed my own orchestra. I needed an orchestra where I could practice. So the community that I moved into didn't have a youth orchestra, and I saw an opportunity and created a youth orchestra in Macon. I went to almost every elementary, middle, and high school in Macon, Forsyth, Warner Robins, to Perry to visit music school teachers to inform them that I was starting a youth orchestra. My efforts paid off and I had a lot of musicians interested. The first year of the orchestra was a crockpot of talent. I had a prodigy elementary student to a high school senior who could barely play. And there is no such music written for that kind of an ensemble. So I basically arranged all the music specific for my group. In fact, specific for each of the musician. Most music in orchestra are written, the parts are written that it will say the part is for the violin, the part is for the flute, trumpet, etc. But the music that I arranged and wrote had each musician's name based on their own ability. It took a lot of creative thinking and time to write out all the music, but this was the only way to make music available for such ensemble and for me to have an opportunity to conduct every week. Now that I have my own orchestra, I could rehearse every week and get better at conducting. But then I soon realized that being a conductor is not just about waving your arms. I now have to create an opportunity to perform for the public. It's actually very expensive to do that. And at the age of 20, I had to learn extremely quickly how to fundraise and become comfortable asking for financial support for a good cause. I have created this magical environment for these young musicians to be in an orchestra, and now I had the responsibility to make sure they had the opportunity to share their love of music to the audience. My youth orchestra in Macon did wonderful things, a lot of great things for the community, and it became a household name. Success doesn't come on a silver platter, and I have hit the wall countless times. However, I always look back to this experience I had in Georgia because it gave me hope. It also gave me confirmation that with passion, love, persistence, faith, imagination, and responsibility, anything is possible. Now, the reason I shared you this experience is because the state of Georgia was the starting point of who I am today. Since my time at Georgia, I have had major success in my career and to have close relationships with world's greatest conductors of today. And I have been a staff conductor at wonderful institutions like Arizona Opera, Richmond Symphony of Virginia, and then for the last 4 years, the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra and the Cincinnati Pops. One of the greatest orchestras in the world, where I conducted a concert last night, and I conduct my very final concert as their associate conductor tomorrow evening. From spending time with these maestri, and especially at Cincinnati, where it is a full 54-week orchestra with over 200 concerts, I've seen and gained a lot. And the most important lesson I learned is with a strong presence of a symphony orchestra, which does creative and collaborative activities with other arts organizations, it creates a beautiful harmony in the community. And the music director's responsibility in all of this is to become the leader of the arts. After leaving Georgia in 2008, I always wanted to give back to the state, and finally, this opportunity has arrived. I truly believe it's fate that my first ever music and artistic director position with a professional orchestra is in this state of Georgia. I couldn't have written this story for myself. There's no perfect word or phrase that describes how excited I am about today and for the future of the arts for the city of Savannah. My wife Yuri and I are ecstatic about joining the Savannah Philharmonic family. The love and support that surrounds this organization is contagious, and I hope to bring new positive energy to the community. Actually, instead of I hope, I know I will. The National Geographic has published an article called 8 Reasons Why You Should Visit Savannah. This genteel Georgia city has something just for everyone. First, historic district, Forsyth Park, Bonaventure Cemetery, Wormslow Historic Site, River City, McQueen's Island Trail, Tibby Island, and the kayak from Tibby Island to Little Tibby. You know what's missing from this list? The arts. I love kayaking, and it breaks my heart that kayaking is mentioned before arts and music. So my goal is to make sure that the music and the arts community will be recognized in these lists about Savannah in the future, starting today. Georgia sure has planted a seed in me, and now it's time to blossom. And after all, I could say that Georgia has always been on my mind. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and together, let's make wonderful things happen. Thank you.
Deloach, would you grace us with some words, your blessing?
Y'all don't know, but I met him a long time ago. Well, how many months was it ago? When you came down originally and started, 2 months ago, yeah. We were in Forsyth Park. I saw this guy just going crazy. I didn't know what was wrong, didn't know who he was. I wasn't sure what was happening, and also I realized he was practicing for the event that night. He was gonna be a conductor. Not really. We actually had some pictures taken together if you want to know what was going on. I got you nervous. But seriously speaking, this is a big day. I mean, it's a big day. And it's a big day for Savannah. And the way I look at it is we in Savannah have a new conductor. We need a new symphony orchestra. And we need a new place to have that symphony orchestra. And I think we need to begin with the idea of how do we really go about developing a place like Charleston has, which I was at a week ago in a forum and just looked at it. It's beautiful. It's something that I feel like we should have, something that we can develop. I don't know how long it would take. I don't know how to do it. But I'm sure there's a lot of minds in here that have that idea. And this will be a great place for you to start and end your legacy here by having a fine symphony hall that you can play in. I will leave it to y'all to figure out who that person is that you need to put at point. But we need to get someone at point, and we need to start making an effort to do that, because eventually, in short order, we are not going to have the location we need to do our symphony. And when we come back up with what we need to come up with something that is as classy as Savannah is. So let's all look at that long term, set that as a goal that we can do long term. And whatever we need to do that, let's make that effort and let's push forward. We have the best conductor in the United States, and we have the greatest symphony hall in the United States. Glad to have you here. I'm looking forward to it. He is a great guy. I mean, you know, I'm pretty stiff. I'm pretty stiff out there trying to take a picture. He is too. But he understands how to do it. He does all the modeling stuff, and all I'm out there trying to figure out what to do out there in Forsyth Park, and Terry's trying to make me act like him, and I can't do it. You know, that's like. But I had a great time with him. He has got a great heart. That is what I can tell about being with him for that short period of time. There's a sense of desire to do well. There's also a sense of, I would say there's a love, not only for the city, but for each individual he approaches. So I'm excited about what you're going to bring here. And we need to get to work on the Symphony Hall. You'll have a great day, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Wow, you couldn't have made a better statement. Thank you so much. Did you have our boardroom fund? But thank you so much for the kind words, and I echo that. Kay, you're of heart, and so we're all going to get along beautifully. We will open up for question and answers now if you'd like, and as I've mentioned, there will be opportunities for media interviews when we conclude any question and answers.